foggy cloud, baby. Standing on my toes on the edge, I'm ready to go. See clear in the shadows I lit, I'm ready to go. I'm taking matters into my own hands now. Let's face it, we only got this life to live out. So follow me, I'm ready to go. I'll take the lead, I'm ready to go. Bumps in the road, many obstacles. But when we fall, we get up and go, baby. The way they think is paradoxical. Capture you in a foggy cloud, baby. Standing on my toes on the edge, I'm ready to go. See clear in the shadows I lit, I'm ready to go. I'm taking matters into my own hands now. Let's face it, we only got this life to live out. So follow me, I'm ready to go. I'll take the lead, I'm ready to go.
Hello everybody, welcome to Off the Cuff Nightlight. This is Linda Irwin, and I'm here with Peg Jones and Sprinkles Nixon, and we are coming to you through Zoom and Facebook Live tonight. Where am I at? I'm on Spaceship Continuum X, and tonight I'm giving you an Ask Me Anything show. Unfortunately, Facebook does not come in very clear on my spaceship, so Sprinkles or Peg will read to me whatever it is you have to ask me. But if you have to ask me later on in the archives, like on YouTube, that's fine too. I will answer that in the next available show. So what can you ask me? Well, let me give you some ideas. First of all, I've been in contact with extraterrestrials since I was 8 years old. My mom actually had me get up in the middle of the night to look out my bedroom window to see a beautiful Christmas-colored light ship, round in nature, hovering over the park behind our house. That was the beginning of my time understanding not only who I was originally, but who they are and how they're out there to help us. I'm also a member of ETLetsTalk.com, so be sure to go over there and check it out. All of the membership perks and privileges are free, though they will ask for donations to keep the site running. I myself donate to the site and have for many, many years. It's a very worthwhile cause, as it brings understanding to many people on how they can make their own contact. So much contact has been reported from people who simply see ships in the sky like I did when I was 8. And then later on, maybe they actually see a being. I know many people that have actually seen beings in their homes energetically. In fact, I have a couple of videos where there's been some right here in my home. I was fortunate that they let me get those. And people that have actually telepathically communicated with them. And perhaps the next step was that they were brought on board a spaceship. So that's an amazing thing. It usually happens when you're not awake, not fully conscious. Sometimes you'll just lay down to take a nap or you'll go to sleep at night and you'll have what you think is just a dream that you were interacting with them on a ship. But was it really? Because I've always believed, and I know personally, that when we go to sleep at night, we don't just sit there and stare at our eyeballs for 7 or 8 hours. Our spirits leave and go do things. We go to the astral realm. We go to other worlds. We visit here on the planet with many other people. So if you have any questions about extraterrestrials and my personal contact, which gets more intense every time, I love them all. And I've met many from many different locations, from the Pleiades to Sirius, to Arcturus, to Andromeda, to different dimensions of Saturn. So be sure to ask me about those, and I'll be happy to tell you about them. Other things I do, music. Yes, I write music. I've been writing my own music since 1985. Some of those are on one of my Vidly channels. Vidly, vidli.com/user/insanity surfers. I have a lot of music on there. I also like to do comedy. Sometimes I take a little bit of travel videos, depending where we're going. Most of them are in the Pacific Northwest where I live. Yes, Idaho is considered the Pacific Northwest. Can you believe it? They don't get as much hoorah about being in the Pacific Northwest as Washington and Oregon, but we're here, we really are, we're Pacific Northwesterners, which means that Sasquatch, which are native to the Pacific Northwest, probably visit here when I'm sleeping at night, who knows. Anyway, be sure to go on to Insanity Surfers on Vidly and check out my comedy. Dawson Green and I have been doing for 3 years now different comedy shows on Spreaker, which are now on exclusively on Vidly. So be sure to check that out. Another Vidly channel I have is Continuum X. CONTINUUMX. That one is more dedicated and devoted to the metaphysical, the paranormal, the spiritual, the extraterrestrial. I did some Spreaker interviews when Off the Cuff was still on Spreaker with such wonderful authors as Laura Emerald and Garnet Schellhauser. They're very much in tune with guides and spirit. Laura especially loves to work with children that have crossed into spirit. She's able to give some amazing messages to those families that have been hurt by losing their children. So be sure to check her out. Listen to the interviews I did with her on Vidly, Continuum X. Also, Garnet Schellhauser, he's another one. We had a great conversation about our experience with extraterrestrials. Just loved him. But he's also an author, so I give all the descriptions in the videos themselves where you can actually go to their sites and check them out. And then there's Internal Monarch. That's Jeff White, and he's got a channel on Spreaker as well. The website, internalmonarch.com. He's one of those that likes to think outside the box. He likes to ignite the spark to cause you to think about what you're doing, where you are in life, and should you be there, and should you maybe see things a little bit differently, broaden your experience just a little bit. So I'm wondering right now if anybody is typing any questions for me in the chat, or not yet, Sprinkles? Okay, probably not. I'm probably giving you guys too much to think about. It's like, what is she talking about? She wants us to ask her questions about this stuff. Yes, I do, because I think the more we share all of our experiences, no matter whether they're creative experiences like what I do with video, or even a little bit of animation. My hot thing on Insanity Surfers right now is Lee-bots. They're little cartoon characters. But the purpose of the Lee-bot seems to be to think outside the box in the way of artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence, is that going to be equivalent to humanity someday? I think it's possible. I even believe that it's possible that artificial intelligence could one day have souls like we do, like animals do. Did you know that even the plants and the rocks of the earth have souls? That was something I discussed with Garnet Schellhauser on that interview too. So think about that a minute. Could AI have souls? I'd like to know what you have to say about that. And the Leebots, that while they're extensions of myself, just like the AI characters in our comedy are extensions of my personality in different ways, I'm creating them, right? And we all have the ability to create characters, extensions of ourselves. If you're writing a fictional book, if you're writing a poem, whatever it is you're doing that's not directly you or directly people you know, you're creating something. You're creating a character, an extension of yourself. Don't you think maybe you might give that character extension just a little bit of yourself, maybe its own soul? Because I personally believe that all of our souls are separate little individual things that are part of the one. And I know you've heard that before, and to those of you that are listening, rolling your eyes in the air going, oh, here she goes with the new age stuff. Think about it a minute. Are we really all that different from each other? Aren't we very similar? Aren't we all fruit from the same tree, the same vine? We're just individually packaged is all. But giving on to that, what other things do I do? Well, I also edit videos, create videos for other people. If somebody does a video and they decide they need something done to it, I'm right there to fix it up. I'd say I'm not the fix-it-up chappie because I'm a girl, but I do pretty much that as well. I have NCH VideoPad as my program that I use, and you can check that out if you're interested in making videos. You can download it for free. But if you want to upgrade to get all of the perks and get rid of the watermark, then you have to pay for it. But it's reasonably priced, and it also gives you a tremendous audio library, sound effects and music, anything you want. And know that tapping you're hearing behind me is not one of the NCH sound effects, but it could be. I'll have to check into that. But anyway, I'm having a great time here with all of you, and I'm hoping that you guys are coming up with questions for me, things that I can tell you all about me, and if you don't ask them today, ask them later on when you're listening, and I will be sure to get back to you on the next available show where we could talk about all those things you asked me. Anyway, I think my time is just about done here, and we're about ready to move on to the next person. So, is Peg next? I hear something. I don't know. Oh, songs next. Okay, well, let's get rolling with some music then, shall we? All right.
Guess I never really had the chance to speak my mind. Never thought you would hear it. Oh, and if you run, baby, I will follow every time. I show you what I'm feeling. You got me going, can't control. Fingers crossed you take me home. So play me all night, hold me tight, keep me in the spotlight. Show me what it's all about. Just take the shot, morning's getting closer. I'm waiting on you to tell me it will be alright. Closer now, think it's time we try this out. What are you waiting for? So keep me moving to the beat of the night till the lights go out. Oh, and if you want, baby, I could be the only one. Make up your mind. I know you want it, I know you need it. Come on, show me anything. You got me running, can you feel it? If you let me, I'll show you what it means. I know you want it.
evening, everyone. I'm Peg Jones, and I too am part of Off the Cuff. And I have some things coming up that I want to offer to everyone. I am not sure exactly when they're going to begin, but I am hoping within the next 2 weeks they will. I am an angelic life coach, and I am also a teacher and an author, and the name of my book is Living in the Heart Place with Your Angels, Daily Angelical Whispers Throughout the Year. Yes, it's a very long title, but it has a lot of information just right there within the title. My book is a book of daily angel messages, and they're basically messages that were channeled over a 2.5 year period from 2010 to 2012. And basically every day I would just ask the angels what message they had for me. I would write them down, put them in my blog and share them. And then as I was doing this, my angels asked me to also include a journal exercise for you to journal in. So that is what I did. And I wanted to read today's message because it's funny. I mean, this message was probably written 5 or 6 years ago, but it's very appropriate for our world today. And so this is the message for March 16th. As you travel on your path in life, there will be many highs and lows. Let the highs help you move along. When the lows occur, take them as a time of contemplation and deep thought. Let both the high times and the low times help you grow within your life. Ask your angels, your spirit guides, your loved ones to help you with your path each day, and know that all is well. Each person you meet, each conversation you have, each encounter are all a part of your path. When you understand that there are both positive and negative, you can walk on your path a little bit easier. Listen for angel whispers and be open to what they have to say to you. Let the positive energy be abundant and find energy in your heart place. We are all beings of light, and we all shine our light brightly when we are in our heart place. Let your beacon shine all around to those who need your light. How is your light helping yourself and others each day? Think about it and journal about it. And I think, that has a lot to do with the energy that we are vibrating on, whether it's a high vibration, a low vibration, by staying in our heart place or as much as we can really help with our vibration, because that's where there's much peace and joy. And it has to do with how you live your life each day, your interactions with the people in your life, and how you are processing the thoughts that you find yourself thinking. And sometimes, I know for myself, there's many times when my thoughts can just be racing, and it's almost like I have to say, whoa, stop, and just kind of breathe a little bit, and just kind of get off the merry-go-round, so to speak, and just, take that time to just go within, and to just try to be in the place of where my heart is. And I think sometimes, I mean, there's been a lot of talk about the heart and, and how the heart is spoken, heart-based businesses, heart-based thinking, and the different ways that we can use the word heart, there's the heart place, there's our heart space, there's, there's joy heart, there's our heart song. And I think, when we start even thinking a little bit about the heart, it's kind of like we begin to find that our vibration is raising a bit more, and the crazy talk, or as I sometimes call, the committee in my head just kind of calms down. Some of us are naturally like this, but we all have a lot going in our life. So it's, and the way we can do that, as I said, is through meditation, and just taking that time through writing, creativity, doing something that's creative, doing something even, like Qigong, or some type of creative dance, or just crazy, just dancing to music that you enjoy. And also being in nature too, I think is very helpful too. And the reason I talk about all this is because there's a lot going on astrologically, and the energy that is kind of going on now. And we might find, different periods in the next couple of weeks where we're feeling rather anxious, or a little bit hyper. And so it's just taking that time to just kind of going within, and just kind of, talking to your angels or talking to your spirit guide. And so I wanted to mention that I have a page on Facebook that you're welcome to join. It's called 14 Days to the Heart Place, because I had started this group on February 1st of last month. And I thought that, that was the perfect time to begin the group, because Valentine's Day was 14 days later. But I think every day, we should be cognizant of our heart and our heart place, and trying to live to a more heart-centered frame of reference. And nobody's perfect, and it's a work in progress, so it's almost like if we kind of, join together and help each other to be more cognizant of that, then, we're shining our light, and helping the collective, so to speak, to be in a very in a higher vibration. And so I'm going to be offering, I think, I'm not sure exactly when, but within the next 2 weeks, 5-week Oracle Angel class. And we'll begin from the beginning as far as how, how we connect with our angels when we're using Oracle cards, through our senses, through our clairs, And so I'll do a review, and it might be new for some of you too about learning about the clairs, and we'll also do an overview of the chakras too, because I feel in many ways they play a big part in using oracle cards, with the symbolism of the graphics and the meaning of the colors through the chakras. And we will probably learn 2 or 3 different spreads over the next 3 weeks, and we'll have homework. We'll be practicing with each other, but I'm also going to encourage you to practice with family and friends too, and do readings for them. And I think that it'll be a really fun class, because I think you'll learn to not only read for yourself, but you'll be learning to read for friends and family too. And we'll also go through some practices that we can do each day with our connection with our angels and with the cards too. So that, I think, is about all I want to speak about for now. And if you have any questions, or if you're interested in joining my Facebook group or joining my class, let me know. I'm probably going to take about 6 or 7 in the class, and we'll see what happens from there. So wishing you a wonderful evening and a happy St. Patrick's Day tomorrow. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Lightning strikes by my window, hits my chest right in the morning, like a warning. Could have slept here for days. I felt your heartbeat, felt your mouth breathe, but it's not real. We were close to see the sun, but clouds got in our way, and so close to see the sun, but clouds got in our way, and so every night dreaming, I'm starting to believe in what you see when I'm sleeping, that you
Hello and welcome back to OTCR's Nightlight. I hope you didn't go off thinking that we were ending, but I'm here and I'd like to share a few things myself. First of all, I hope you're all having a very good evening. And this is something new. It's an adventure for us and a challenge for us to try to get OTCR out here on the Facebook Live and have it in the Zoom. For those who are familiar with Zoom, you can also go in there, and we have a chat room in there as well. And what we're trying to do is that OTC night is going to be like every other Friday night. And so the next Friday, we're supposed to be having a live reading night, but we have a very special occasion taking place here, because what we're going to do is we're going to have a very special guest come on and willing to share their ability and their skills. And we would very much like your participation, so we know that what you're looking for, we can provide it for you. There's an array of different modalities and things to learn of the spiritual aspects of things. We are into angels, even ETs, and we're hoping to have everybody join us in learning something. We learn something every day. So we hope you're going to participate with us and join us on these live shows, which we're trying to get the kinks out of, so bear with us. The other thing is that this special show we're going to have is myself, Peg Jones, and Linda Irwin, and Brian Clover. A lot of you out there on Facebook probably know Brian, and he's a delight, and we're all looking to share something very special with you. What I'm going to share today here with you tonight is I was going to share a little bit of the palmistry on how you can look at things and find it yourself in your palms. And there's so many sites out there that give the interpretations of what the lines are supposed to be. I'm self-taught, so when I started doing palm readings, what happened was that it was more to my touch on the palm that really emphasized things that were taking place. Even spirit came through just by the touching of the hand. It was very interesting to know and see, and yet very, very simple to do. It's just knowing what the lines are and what some of the interpretations are of them. Now, again, you can go to any palmistry site out here on the web and learn some of those things yourself. But it's another thing that you can add to it is astrology. If you're interested in astrology, you're going to find that astrology is in a lot of different things that we can use. Not only in the charts, but in the palm itself. The palm itself has a lot of astrology in it. Matter of fact, the fingers are ruled by certain planets. There's also, I don't want to get too much into the astrology, but there's other things that are in the tarot cards. You'll find palm astrology, the astrological symbols, and all the meanings. If you learn astrology, you'll learn a lot of the meanings behind those lines and the placements on the palm. So I will give you a few here, and if you have any questions, please let me know. Also, after next Friday's show, we will be doing free reading night, and I love doing them. So be sure to come check us back out at that time. Okay, so with the palmistry, there's certain things. If you bend your wrist, you can see at your wrist a whole bunch of lines that are crossing over. Some of the lines may actually kind of break off, okay, and start again around your wrist. Now those are called luck bracelets, and when there is a break, it just means that uh, you had time, you were meant to learn something more and not put so much on luck. But the more luck bracelets you have, the luckier you are. So there are times in all our lives that we're not very lucky. Things happen. Life is life, and so that will show up on your luck bracelets, and those are right around your wrist. If you bend your wrist forward and back, you'll see those lines. Another thing is the thumbs. I love the thumbs. The thumb is ruled by Venus, okay, the planet Venus, which is, of course, it's the lifeline kind of encircles the whole thumb area. So if you move your thumb, you can see exactly where your lifeline is. If you go to touch your pinky with your thumb, you'll see that curvature. That's the lifeline. And that gives so much, and at different times. I'm hoping to do a palmistry class and a tarot class, but again, I'm self-taught, so I do things my way, and it's interesting, but I'm more of an old school because I apply a lot of spiritualism into them, so a lot of my cards have spiritual meanings to me, and there's certain prayers that can go along with them, so it's really quite different. And yes, I'm going to be doing classes for free. Not both of them at the same time, but one or the other. And I just haven't decided yet, as like Peg. We are working these things out because we are trying to make sure that we can reach out to you and connect to you and have you want to come and join us and enjoy it and have fun. Okay, so let's see, we talked about, well, the lifeline there, it breaks down to different segments of time. And it's really quite interesting. And there's special lines in the palm that will tell me if you're a healer, if you are a psychic, if you are a very strong psychic. I've had people come sit down before me and want a palm reading. And I already know, just looking at the hand, that they are psychic, okay? Or they are trying to test me to see if I know what I'm doing. And it's quite an interesting thing to see that right away and apply that knowledge. So there's so much knowledge available, and it helps us and enhances us. It enhances our abilities and our skills. And the same can be done for mediumship. I'm a little different with mediumship in the fact that I don't say I'm a medium all the time. I'm just a sometime medium because I never know when spirit's going to come through for me. Okay, I never know if it's the spirit that you're looking for. I can only give you what I get, and that's what I do in all the things that I share in experience with others. Only what I get and what I can give. Let's see, what else do we have here? Okay, back to the fingers, we have the love line. Now, the love line is the only line that starts down underneath the pinky and on the pinky side over towards your index finger. Now, the way that it's shaped, the love line kind of tells you more about the people you love. The love you have for others and how you are relating with it. A very revealing kind of thing. And then there's children lines. The children lines are on that side of the pinky. They're little lines that come down. And you can I can actually tell when somebody has lost a child, whether through miscarriage or through a passing. There's so much you can learn about a person and the shape of the hand itself. I mean, if I have somebody walk into a room that I'm in and I can physically see them, a lot of the signs can come right off, boom, right there. You have your with the astrology, you can tell which sign it is. Say, for instance, a Leo. Okay, somebody walks in with this huge head of hair or very thick, luscious hair. Usually those are Leos or ascendant Leos. which is the first house leader. So it brings out that kind of thing. If I look at the palms, I can see the shape of that palm and know that if it's an earth sign, a water sign, air sign, whatever, or a mix. It can be a mix too of everything. Okay, and that's usually because there's interception in one of the houses in the chart. But as I'm hoping you understand that these things are all useful in seeing things before you even get to speak to somebody. Um, and learning them. It's fascinating. It's fascinating. And then when you finally do, if you go up to that person, you talk to that person, you're going to find, yeah, I got it right, you know? And it's not such a big thing. It's really fun. It's interesting. You could see who's a spender and who's not a spender. People who like to hold on to their money or their possessions. People who tend to, not have any concern about their possessions whatsoever. They're not a materialistic kind of person. All these things are wonderful and can be seen in the palm of the hand. So I do hope that you enjoy this and you take the time to come check us out, be here, and enjoy the other shows that we're hoping to put on and go as good as it's going here so far tonight. And I hope it is going good here. I'll know that after I check out the recording of it to see how it all went. But yes, and please, again, I want to thank Peg Jones for coming in and sharing with us, and Linda Irwin. You got to find out more about us. We're a lot of fun. I get a little eccentric, I got to admit, at times, but other than that, it can be an awful lot of fun. So please go to the Facebook Off the Cuff radio show and put your comments in, like us, share this, share if you like it. But do come back and we'll have something brand new for you, I assure you. So with that, I'm going to end and have both Peg and Linda come back on, and if they have any final words, now's the time. So please do share us, and Peg, Linda, come on and if you have any last words, please let our listeners know if you had forgot something and you did want to share some more.
I just wanted to tell everybody thank you for listening and we're watching, if you're watching it on YouTube later or on Facebook Live now. And just remember, we love you. Take care of yourselves always. And be sure to come back to Off the Cuff, because it's a lot more fun coming. Peg?
Okay, Peg. Is she? Oh, she's.
Right? And if you have any questions about your connection with your angels, or wanting to know about my book or my classes, just contact me here and I'll be glad to help you out. And meanwhile, have a great weekend and have some fun.
All right, everybody. Thanks again for tuning in. We deeply appreciate it. We love all of you, and we would love to be of help to you in any way possible, if we possibly can. So please check us out. That's OTCR at E-zine.com. There's a lot of on-demands there as well for all the shows that we are trying to bring to you. So be open to it. That's another thing. I'm sorry, before you go, we have a new show that's going to be starting in April. It's called Wizards Within. It's going to be very interesting. So be sure to keep an eye out for that announcement and that posting of that show. Okay, love and light, everybody. Thanks again, ladies. And we're out of here. Bye-bye.
Have a good weekend.
We'll keep the light on for you.
Yeah.